Hi everybody, my name is Summer Cassidy and I'm a sophomore psychology major at Illinois State University. Today I'm going to be interviewing Kelly Swoboda, who is a licensed professional counselor. I will be asking her about the writing and communication that she does at work, as well as learning more about the career itself. I'm doing this because I'm studying psychology and this will give me a better look into my own future. I'm going to try and make this quick because she's very busy and has a baby she needs to take care of. Alright, I'm going to get her on the phone now and begin.
Hi, Summer.
Hi Kelly, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for doing this for me. I really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, of course. Thanks for asking.
Oh, of course. Um, it should go by pretty quick. I just have maybe like 10 questions.
Okay.
It's just about communication at your job, pretty much.
Okay.
Okay, so first, can you just tell me your full name and describe what your job is and what you do?
So my full name is Kelly Swoboda. I'm a licensed professional counselor for the past 5 years, where I do individual therapy. And I'm also at the end of getting my doctorate in clinical psychology, where I'm at a practicum doing neuropsych testing with clients currently. Yep.
Thank you so much. That's so cool. Where did you go to school and what did you study to get this job specifically?
So I went to community college first for 2 years at McHenry County College, and then I transferred to Illinois State, where I got my bachelor's in psychology. Um, and then I went on to graduate school at Valparaiso University, where I got my master's in clinical mental health counseling, which allowed me to then get licensed to do therapy and become a licensed professional counselor. I'm currently getting my doctorate at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology downtown.
Sweet. Alright, at your job, do you do a lot of writing?
I would say a good amount.
What ways do you write? Is it like taking notes? Is it like, what do you say?
So at my job doing therapy, we have to do clinical notes after each session. So it's like the note about how the session went. We have to now document all diagnoses, kind of like proof or like backing why this person has this or meets this diagnosis, all of the billing, um, things like that, plan for next session, any kind of risk factors, things like that, protective factors. And then at my practicum site, which is more like an internship, we are really just doing neuropsychological testing with the clients and then writing up a full report afterwards. So that's a little bit more writing intensive, I would say.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are the main ways that you feel you communicate at work? Not just like with clients, just in general at work.
That's such an open-ended question.
It really is. I'm so sorry. I can reword it if you want.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm answering it the way what you're looking for.
Yeah. So just pretty much like what forms of communication do you think you use the most? Like talking, communicating, writing, like what do you
Oh,
think?
definitely talking. Just a lot of like verbal communication, I think is the most, the most important form of communication.
Alrighty. What have you learned from communicating at work that you weren't as comfortable with before you started your job?
Ooh, I would say not having an answer for somebody. I think a lot of people come into therapy with um, the misconception that you're there to tell them what to do or you have like the answers for them.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think just being comfortable with your credentials, but still being like, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life. I may know about XYZ and have clinical skills and background, but so I guess just being a bit more comfortable being directive with that. I think being more comfortable with silence. I think that is also a big form of communication. So I think just being comfortable sitting there and letting the client kind of sit with a thought or emotion. Let me see. Yeah, I think those are two big ones.
Yeah, that's awesome. In what ways did your knowledge before you started your job, just like it could be anything, like things you've learned on your own, things you learned in school, how do you think the things you knew going into it helped you succeed in your career?
I think just in a general sense, I think just a lot about what each of us go through individually. I know me personally, I think we all have like mental health strengths and things that we go through. And so I think just going through things on my own has really like strengthened my ability to be like empathic with clients or better understand. Even just like a job I had out of high school, working at a golf course and dealing with people that were, rude or inappropriate, I feel like helped me, just like learn better boundaries or how to communicate with people. And I feel like that's, helped me in this job as well.
Yeah. What do you think is the biggest challenge when it comes to communicating at work?
I think the biggest challenge is that you're communicating with other people. And so if you could communicate with somebody and then they leave that interaction and could have a completely different perspective on how it went. And so I think that sometimes is really challenging because you could be like, okay, that went great. And they could walk away from it having a completely different form of like reality, and both are correct. But
do you feel like this makes it a little bit harder to do your job, or do you think it just pushes you even more?
I wouldn't say it makes it harder. I think it's just something to be aware of. It's just trying to just communicate more clearly and effectively and kind of meet people where they're at, and trying to understand their perspective and their take on things.
Yeah. Well, that was all the questions that I have.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it, Kelly.
Of course. I hope that was somewhat coherent.
Oh, no, it was great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. If anything else comes up, just shoot me a text or give me a call back.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Kelly.
All right. Good to talk to you. Bye, Summer.
You too. Bye, Kelly.